Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 72nd episode of the Game Packs Podcast. My name is Phil, and co-hosting with me, as always, are Camilo and John. This week, we will be talking about the Switch Pro rumor that people won't stop talking about. And we've got some Sony news again. Side note, we haven't talked about Xbox for about 4 months, so Phil Spencer, get it together, man. We want to talk about Xbox. All right, more specifically, we're going to be talking about the Switch Pro rumors that are out again, and this time, I personally promise that these are real. So if they're wrong, you can attack me in the comments.
It's the Phil Phantastic stamp of approval.
Yeah. Bloomberg, man, it's real. All right, and then Sony is getting in to more gimmicky controllers and out of the video on demand content game. And then lastly, it's time for our monthly update, semi-monthly update on what we've been doing individually as content creators. We kind of want to talk to you guys about what we've been playing, where you can find us, all that fun stuff. All right, let's jump into the first story, Switch Pro rumors again. So Bloomberg reports a new Switch model will be put into production starting in June of this year. It allegedly is going to have a 7-inch 720p OLED screen, and it's going to be 4K when docked. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Camilo, because I think I threw it over to John last time. Is the rumor real?
I think so. I think Bloomberg is a reliable source. Mm-hmm. In their report, this is coming from, I think Samsung has a surplus of these 7-inch OLED screens. Okay. And they're getting pretty cheap now, so I think this is why Nintendo wants to get in on it now.
Nice.
So yes, I think it's real. I think it's that we definitely need a Switch Pro at this new Switch model.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think we definitely need one. What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think this one is real. All right. All the other ones I thought were real, but they turned out to be fake. But this one's actually from Bloomberg.
Dude, I'm pretty sure some of the other ones were from Bloomberg, too.
I don't know. I just get excited whenever these rumors start to happen. I just get excited. When the directs come out and everybody gets hype about the direct, and then it's it's really disappointing when a Switch Pro doesn't get announced, or Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't get shown.
Mm-hmm. So I want it to be real. The last Bloomberg one, when they said, "Oh, there's 2 new Switch models coming," and that was true because it was the new
Switch and
battery Switch, and the Switch Lite.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly don't remember. I just know that we've definitely covered Bloomberg stories before. So I'll throw my 2 cents into the ring. Other than the fact that I think that we need one, I think just so many people are reporting on this same story, which is something we mentioned before we started recording, that there's the excess screens, all of this stuff kind of is pointing towards, and the fact that it's needed.
But Nintendo has been adamantly saying that there's no new Switch
but that doesn't mean
console
anything, because they've done that before. Or we have no plans to update the 3DS or something, and then a month later they announce the new 3DS.
The way that I know exactly what you're talking about. It's Doug Bowser said something, and it was very just protective. I feel like it didn't really say anything other than we're not putting one out tomorrow.
Or we're not ready to announce one yet.
Yeah, it was very jargony and businessy, and I think that if you wanted to, you could interpret that oh, he's just not ready to announce it, but they could be and they are absolutely working on a revision. Whether or not that thing's coming out Christmas time, that's to be seen.
The Switch is supposed to have a 10-year life, and we're 4 years in, and my Switch is looking pretty shoddy, man.
An 8-year life?
I thought they said 10
years.
I thought they said 10.
I thought they said they were halfway done, at like the 4-year mark,
Yeah.
basically. So like,
Still,
I think it's 8 years.
4 years. My Switch is feeling the pain right now.
Yes, and we live in an age where consoles get refreshes. Even the 3DS was getting refreshes. How many refreshes did that thing get? It got the XL, and then it got the new XL, right? Like those are the two big ones.
Yeah.
And how long
And then
was?
they got the new like regular size one with the faceplates.
Yeah, those kind of came out at the same time.
Yeah. And then they did like 2DS and then the new 2DS, which had the same processor as the 3DS.
The door stops?
No, not the door stops. The actual good 2DSs, which I think are hands down, before we get too far off topic, those ones were the best 3DSs ever made, were the last things they made, which were the clamshell 2DSs. Those things are sick. They were like really good consoles. But anyways, back to Nintendo Switch and the rumor. It's the gap between, we've mentioned this before, the gap between, I know they don't care about graphics and who their competitors, but like if you look at Hyrule Warriors Calamity, Age of Calamity.
You love just ragging on this one, huh?
And I mean, I am kind of upset with that purchase because I wanted it to be so great. And you set it next to side by side with even like, I was gonna say Demon Souls PS5, but even like God of War PS4, like it is just night and day. Like it feels like you're playing video games in a different decade. It's just not the same. So in order to stay like relevant, I feel like they need to at least, because you're gonna lose the third-party support. They're already losing. That's like the big thing.
It becomes like harder to scale games down.
Yeah.
We're getting a pretty big one next week. We're getting Apex Legends next week, so
dude, those were all made by the same. They were all made by the same company, like Doom and Doom Eternal and all that.
Oh, Pushbutton did that?
Yeah, dude. I saw that and I was like, guys, what are you doing? Like, you did so good with Doom. Like, did someone just throw a huge check at you and say, I want it on my desk by Monday? Like, gosh, that thing looks like garbage.
But if we could get a Switch Pro, like, I'm assuming the processor is going to be better, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
It has to be.
Yeah, but
They're
what I'm seeing from
like
this,
a mobile phone processor from 2006. I mean, that's a stretch, but from before it was born, which was 20.
I don't know what I've heard. I mean, there definitely could be more to this, but like from
sure.
It just explicitly what I've seen in the rumors is it's really just like the screen, and then like they might tweak it so it can do that like 4K like DLSS technology thing.
No. I want power.
It's definitely not going to be like actual 4K.
No, it's
it's going to be upscaling. It's probably going to be. I doubt it's even going to be that checkerboarding or whatever PlayStation did.
It's the NVIDIA one that he just mentioned. It's I forget what the acronym is, but it is like DSLL or DLSS or something like that. It's the NVIDIA upscaling.
So it's really not going to improve like the textures. It's just going to upscale.
Well, they can. I mean, you can upscale it and like have 4K textures on it. The textures and the resolution are like independent of each other. IMO.
I don't know. I hope it's at least as powerful as, I don't know, Xbox,
like a PS4 or Xbox One,
or like a PS Vita. It'd be sick if it was as powerful as a PS Vita. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Like, we should actually look that up, the specs of a Vita compared to a Switch.
Well, the Vita is less powerful than like a PS3, so.
Mm-hmm.
But it did have an OLED, and the OLED screen was beautiful.
It did have an OLED in one of the models.
The Switch is definitely more powerful than a Vita.
Okay, fair enough. Man, no, I just want one. Even though I just literally, and we'll talk about it later, I finally finished the Holy Trinity of gaming.
Kind of.
I want... Quiet you. Yeah, I'm ready for a new one. It's been 4 years. Like, it's time for an update.
4 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it's been 4 years. Is it time, or is it not time?
I think the consensus here is it's time.
That's how long it was from. Well, the PS4 was even shorter. I think it was like 3 years to the PS4 Pro, but then the Xbox One X was 4 years after.
I remember that. I remember feeling really good because I got the OG Xbox kind of close to launch, and I felt like good about upgrading.
Well, they even had like a little refresh in between there. They had the Xbox One S.
Yeah, it was just like
yeah,
the
but
year
that
before.
was just so you could watch like Netflix in 4K. Like
Yeah.
that was just like I'm sorry, that's not for me.
Kind of like the PS4, like
so you think it's gonna be a leap from like how the Xbox One or the PS4 to the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro? You think it's gonna be that big of a leap?
I think it needs to be to sell units.
I don't think it needs. I think it's gonna sell units no matter what.
You think so?
The Switch just sells. It just sells. The Switch Lite.
I know it just sells, but like, I don't think it's good for all of the like R&D and like the supply chain and like how much money it costs to get a console out the door. Like for it to not be significantly better, like other than like putting Pikachu all over it, like why are people gonna buy it? Like, that's why people buy Switches, because they're like, oh my god, this one's got Tom Nook on it. I'm going to get this one too. And I'm not going to unwrap it, and I'm going to put it behind me. Says the guy with a ton of unopened video games behind it.
So I think it also came out that they were going to produce 1 million units to start.
So when do like actual consumers get their hands on them? Because I think scalpers could easily get 1 million units.
Well, no, wasn't that Samsung is making 1 million screens per month? Wasn't that the number?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw the production number was going to be 1 million. Maybe I just had.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. It's saying they're planning to make 1 million screens per month. So if that starts in June, I would assume a holiday release.
So get your scalper bots now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
To fight the real scalpers.
Learn how to code so you can fight scalpers.
Oh, man.
I'm definitely down. That would be cool, man. Especially if they release... I still don't think Breath of the Wild is coming out this year. But if it did, if they came out with a special edition Breath of the Wild 2, Switch Pro, and Breath of the Wild 2...
Good luck getting that, though. Ooh.
Or even bigger pipe dream, special edition... Metroid.
Yeah, okay. We were talking about vaporware off recording, and that's vaporware.
Oh yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 is vaporware.
What about Switch Pro for Legends Arceus?
I mean, if it costs the same amount of money, I'll probably get like a special edition one. When I got my One X, I made sure to get the Scorpio edition just so it was like a little bit special. Because if I'm buying 2 of the same console, I mean, it's not the same. It's, a half measure up, but I want it to be like a little bit different. So, I don't know. I got the gray Switch. I want it to be a little bit cooler.
I mean, we are in Zelda 35th, so they could.
Very much could. Some like Triforces. Ooh.
I would be okay. Like I'm hoping there is some increased power, and then you could fix Breath of the Wild in certain spots.
So my thing is doesn't it have to be more powerful to push 4K? It would have to be, because this system can barely push 1080p. Right? Or would you think that it would come from the dock?
I did hear rumors saying there might be like extra processing in the dock.
Which is fine, because I'm like about, I don't know what you guys are, I'm about 75-25. 75 dock, 25% handheld. How do you guys play your Switches?
I play a lot docked because I stream it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I'm not streaming it, it's handheld. I almost never play on like the TV if if I'm just like casually playing it.
I usually still have it hooked up to this like whole rig that I've got, and then I just open up OBS and I'm like, all right, just gonna pretend like I'm streaming. I've got my camera on, but we're not live. That's usually how I play my Switch. But I have 2 docks. Sometimes I go in the living room and Kat's like, can you not? I'm not allowed to use the nice TV for Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would definitely be like a misstep if they just didn't change the processor at all. But yeah, but I think the point of the 4K like DLSS is that it doesn't need the actual processing to do the 4K. It's just kind of like a technique.
All right.
But I don't really know.
I'll go do my homework after this about this. What is it? What's the abbreviation? DLSS. DLSS. It's like then it's the NVIDIA upscaling. Yeah, we'll see.
So production is supposed to start in June.
Yeah.
You know what else
Which means
is in June?
Mario Golf.
No. E3. Or
I don't think
whatever they're
it
doing
at
this
E3.
year. You don't think they'll announce it at E3?
Nah.
Why not?
I feel like they'll do it close. I don't. I feel
I think John's correct.
I mean, that gives you.
Yeah, but then that
5
immediately like, oh, there's a new Switch coming. I'm not buying one now, kind of thing.
If you don't have a Switch now,
the Switch is still selling like crazy.
I know, but
just slap a Pikachu sticker on it.
I know for real.
No,
I don't know.
When do consoles usually get announced? I feel like they get announced like around maybe August.
Well, there was
but like think about like the new 3DS, like that was announced in February, and it came out like in a week or something.
Really?
Yeah,
I do remember that one coming out in February.
Do you guys remember the Sega Saturn?
It's out right now. Yo, Shadow drop it.
They shadow dropped the Sega Saturn, and then gave PlayStation the amount of time to be like, okay, well, our console costs $100 less. Good move, Sega.
Oh, so do you think it's going to cost more or same price, and then they drop the other Switches?
I think you do 300, drop the price of the standard Switch.
I think you've got a $349 SKU, you've got a $249 SKU, and you've got a $199 SKU.
$199 being the light.
Yep. I don't think light's moving.
What's the regular 300 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's high for a 4-year-old system, not to drop at all.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
No.
I think 350. Like it can't be 400 because you can get a PS5 digital for 400.
Yeah. So I was thinking it would be $50 more than what we have, unless it's like replaces it entirely. Do you guys remember what the pricing structure was for PS4 Pro and Series X?
It was 400. It was 400 for PS4 Pro, I think, and 500 for Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And that was more than what the OGs were selling for?
Yeah, the original was like 300 for just a base PlayStation 4.
Well, I guess they dropped it. Yeah, because they dropped it down to 300 then.
Yeah, so it wasn't. Yeah, so the Pro wasn't more expensive than the outgoing model. It kind of took its place, and then they dropped the base one.
Yeah, I could see that too, for sure.
But I don't think the Switch Pro would be for everybody. You know what I mean? It's for us. It's for...
Absolutely. It's for us.
It's
Nintendo,
for us.
send us some. Specifically for us. Anything else for the Switch Pro? I mean...
God, please be real. I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm so sick of talking about it. I love talking about it.
I want to do.
I'm trying to be positive.
I want to talk... No, I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it while I'm holding it. I want to talk about how great it is. I want to give Nintendo my money. Like, let's go, boys. Come on. All right, so let's move on from Nintendo Land, which, by the way, Nintendo Land in Florida is being delayed to 2025, so everybody pour one out for that.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Is that in the U.S. or is that in?
That's Orlando.
Oh, okay. 'Cause they pushed back the Japan one too.
Yeah, but not as far. Okay, so now is there any more looming Nintendo news that doesn't need more than a 2-second conversation? Anything?
No.
No.
R.I.P. Mario 35 very soon. Okay. Let's move on and talk about some Sony stuff. So Sony is canceling its video on demand service to focus on making banana controllers. So I'll elaborate on that. Sony began selling TV shows and movies on their marketplace back in July of 2008, and as of August 31st, 2021, the PlayStation Store will stop offering movies and TV show purchases and rentals. After the PlayStation Store stops selling and renting VOD titles, the customers will still be able to access the stuff that they bought and like watch their TV shows and movies and like continually have ownership of that. But they won't be able to, buy or rent them anymore, and you'll be able to watch them on PS4, PS5, and on mobile devices.
What about PS Vita TV?
PS Vita TV. You know what? We don't have that in our notes, so I'm gonna say probably not.
I'm wondering if it's a yes, but they're just like so.
Anti talking about that brand.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke. I wasn't being serious.
I know,
okay?
but we can talk about it though. I think we should talk.
No,
about
but
it. I think Cam's right.
They're so, not antique.
They want to move away from Vita.
Yeah, they're like
so
antiquated because they killed off the PS3 and the Vita store on the site. So
interesting. So I want to ask you guys. Have you purchased any movies or shows on the PlayStation Store? Have you rented anything on the PlayStation Store?
I think I rented something on PlayStation because they used to do a lot of sales. Like you used to they used to sell all these video on demand stuff for cheap, and I think I rented a movie for like $1.
Yeah, I think I remember I saw like they had like a John Wick sale, and you can like watch all the John Wick movies for like way less by like renting them through the PlayStation Store. I could have dreamed that because John Wick is the best.
I haven't, just because I have the fear of like just having like only my content only like on PlayStation. Like I can't watch it anywhere else.
Yeah, I have that issue with Xbox. I bought like 2 movies on Xbox, and now they're just sitting on Xbox. Like if I want to watch them, I have to watch them on an Xbox.
Yeah. It's not a good home and I think it's smart for them to get out. It's like not from a consumer standpoint. It's like not a good home to own your things. Like I personally own some movies on Amazon because I can watch them.
You can watch them anywhere. Yeah,
can watch them anywhere. I own stuff on iTunes because I have had Apple products my whole life. There's an Apple TV on my television in my living room. So, like, it makes sense to use, like, those things that are going to be around forever. Like, iTunes has been a thing since we were teenagers. Like, these things have stood the test of time. It's, like, the industry standard. Amazon is becoming an industry standard. And, Sony makes video games and TVs. Like, they're not known for being, like, They also have to compete with streaming services too. I don't want to muddy up what I'm trying to say right now, but like there's just like I just don't think they need to be in that game. So
yeah, I don't know if I've ever consciously thought to go to the TV show and movie area of the PlayStation Store.
Mm-hmm. Did PlayStation ever go the route of like Apple, Netflix, Amazon, and try to make their own originals?
I don't know.
I'd be very curious. Because wasn't somebody, I feel like, and I honestly just like reaching into the recesses of my brain, but I feel like there was like a show, like a Halo show or something.
Yeah, there was a Halo show.
There's a Halo show?
Forward onto Dawn, I think. Forward onto Dawn. I don't know. I think you got access to it if you played Halo 5.
Interesting.
And there was like a hub that you could go to, and I shouldn't have said hub. Sorry, PG. But there was a Halo hub that you could go to. And you could watch I think there was a movie, and then there was also a show.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But I don't remember.
Was that
Sony.
exclusively at the hub that you had to go to, or could you go anywhere else?
I think you could. I think you could have got it online somewhere. But I don't recall. I know there's some Halo stuff on Netflix. You can watch some stuff on Netflix.
Nice. Ba, 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 ba. I love that song. Yeah, so I feel like it wasn't offering a service that wasn't being offered somewhere else better. So like maybe they weren't getting like as good a deals like from like the studios and stuff to like actually sell the movies or rent the movies. Like maybe Apple was getting a better deal than them, and they weren't, they didn't have good enough margins to like keep the business going. But
I think it was, I mean, they like had data showing that more people were just using like the Netflix and the Hulu like on like even on like the PlayStation consoles more than just like buying them outright. So that like, shifts to streaming platforms made them decide.
Totally. I would be on my Xbox typing in like my PIN to rent like something that I was trying to rent on Amazon. The Amazon app that was on my Xbox. I wasn't, because it's so much easier. You just go to your computer and like, because I'm just always near my computer or my phone or whatever. And I'm like, add to cart, buy, rent, whatever. One touch, bought. It's just so much easier to do that.
Yeah, and all those apps are on, your PlayStation console anyway. So like Amazon Prime's on there, Netflix, Hulu, they're all on there. So why? I don't know.
I think they just couldn't compete, just because people like, why would you go to PlayStation when you could go to the thing that like everybody else uses and knows,
and that you have access to on other devices. Like it's not just on your PlayStation. You can watch Amazon on anything really.
It's true. You could start it in your bedroom, and then you go into the living room. You have like an Amazon Fire Stick or whatever. You can't watch your PlayStation movies on your Amazon Fire Stick. Like, it just doesn't work. I think that's still a product.
A Fire Stick? Yeah.
Fire Stick, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're super smart to get out of that game. I don't have a ton of comments other than that. Like, competing with streaming is just, I think, probably the number one thing. I think, Camilo, you mentioned that. Competing with the streaming platforms has got to be the thing that killed it. Because now, like, Paramount's got one. Like, everybody's got one now. So, like, why would you go to PlayStation to rent Transformers when you could watch
I know, you just watch it.
It's just people aren't renting and buying like they used to. Like, back before The Office was on, what was it? It was on Netflix. Now it's off Netflix now. But before it was on Netflix, I bought individual episodes on iTunes.
Yeah. Like
old school. And I watched them on my video iPod. You guys remember video iPods with the little circle, scrolling circle? That's how old I am.
We still buy some shows on like Amazon if they're not available on the other streaming platforms.
Yeah, but you're not buying them on the PlayStation Store.
No. Yeah, I'm not buying on PlayStation Store.
Final thoughts on buying videos on the PlayStation Store. RIP?
I guess hopefully you never stop using PlayStations if you bought anything.
It's true. What if this was the thing that, like, I'm going to Xbox?
It's crazy that they're killing this, but like, doesn't the PS5 have like a whole separate tab for like the
media?
store?
Yeah, media.
Yeah, they have a media tab. But you know what? I actually don't use my media tab ever. So I don't even know what's on it, honestly. I'm on the games tab constantly. So maybe I'll check that out after the podcast. See what on the media tab's all about.
I think it's just all the streaming platforms.
It has to be all the streaming apps. That's funny. Or like game clips or something. All right, so let's move on to something that I found very interesting, and that is that Sony filed a patent for a banana PlayStation controller. Okay. So they didn't actually file a patent for a banana controller. So it filed a patent for a method that turns a non-luminous passive object being held by the user. So basically, like anything. And the illustration they used in the patent just happened to be a human being holding a banana, and then John's editing this, right? John can throw the image up. There's like an X button in the left hand and a triangle button, or cross, excuse me, we're talking about PlayStation. Cross in the left hand, triangle in the right hand. And it just looks ridiculous. And it's ridiculous. It's been being memed to high heaven. So I just thought we could talk about it and what we thought were some practical applications for it.
It didn't make sense. The picture doesn't make sense. Like, why are the buttons
this
so
is for like the next like VR or something?
Yeah, potentially.
Like this, I mean, there have to be like some sort of camera that's like scanning whatever object you're holding.
Well, they did just announce VR 2.0, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
So. Yeah.
Ooh, we should talk about that next week. That's very exciting.
Well, it's not. They just said like, oh, like it's coming. We're working on it. They didn't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we won't talk about it.
I think they released a statement.
What? VR 2.0 is coming out.
They released a statement saying that VR 2.0 is coming out, pretty much.
I've been looking forward to that because I definitely want to get into VR in the next couple of years. I feel like it's finally like there in air quotes, because it's not, but it's there enough to where I'll buy it. And I think Sony could do some cool things. I mean, Astro's Playroom was amazing, and that other I didn't ever play the VR.
Isn't it Astro VR Bot or something?
Yeah, Astro VR Bot. So I've never played that, but if it's anything like Astro's Playroom, heck yeah, sign me up. Like, that sounds amazing. And if I can find some fruit in my house to juggle in VR, like, dude, that sounds like a blast. I think basically what this is it's saying we can turn if we can see it and it doesn't glow, if it's not a light bulb that's on, we can turn it into a controller. And I think that's really inventive and very cool. And it just seems, again, very Nintendo.
I know. I feel like they made it they patented it just so Nintendo wouldn't patent it in the future.
I know. They're getting creative. And they're like they're not like, oh crap, like there's Wiimotes. We better make these weird toys with like light bulbs on the end of them to compete with Wiimotes. And like, I don't know. What did they do? Did they do avatars? Did Sony do avatars?
I don't think so.
No, not. Oh, they did like PlayStation Home, but that's kind of dead.
Yeah, I know. Like Microsoft was like, yeah, we got avatars now. We're doing Kinect. We're taking Rare, one of the greatest game developing companies of all time. We're gonna make them make the worst games ever made. But yeah, the potential for this is like really, I mean, it's infinite, because you could be holding, a case for a game, and the case for a game is a rectangle, and you look at it with your VR goggles, and it can be anything at all, anything. And you can just change the inputs wherever you want to press them. And we're already pretty used to just pressing things and not like having them be buttons, because we grew up with tablets and phones, or adopted them as adults. But you guys watching grew up with tablets and phones, so like you're used to touching a surface and not necessarily getting a tactical haptic response,
like feedback.
You're not used to getting feedback. You're used to just touching it and it just going. But if you touch it and then you get like a visual feedback that you touched it, it goes like whoop. Like it's infinite. Banana games. Think of all the banana games.
Can't wait. Of course, they choose like an object that is kind of controller shaped.
Yeah, that's true. You could drive a car with a banana. Why not? But yeah, maybe they did it just for scale.
That's true.
Banana for scale. Also, look at how terrible. I'm hoping the drawing is still up on the screen right now, but look how. And sorry, audio listeners, you're gonna have to Google this. But look at how terrible those fingers are. It looks like a crab is holding a banana. You guys see it in the Discord?
Yeah, let's see this.
It's in the Discord.
Oh yeah. Who drew those hands?
Dude, I don't know. It's either someone wearing mittens or a literal crab person.
Do we know what the numbers are for?
They reference specific stuff in the patent.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think we only pulled the image for this.
So it was like I wonder if the top, like, it's pointing to the banana stem. I wonder if the banana stem is like another
interactive
button.
banana peeling. It's like, dude, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a new speed running thing. Like, how many bananas can you peel?
Oh my god.
That's what they'll do is they'll implement this into like industries where they want workers to work faster, and to gamify it, they'll like make them wear PSVR headsets, and they'll be like, all right, like you need to like sort these nuts and bolts like as fast as possible.
We're moving into
like,
Ready Player One territory,
right? It's like if you sort all these things on the conveyor belt as fast as possible, like you get an extra $10 on your paycheck. And then just everyone's just like hustling so hard to get that $10, and
this took a turn. You
could have leaderboards, dude. This is the future, man. You could have you could look up and there's just a leaderboard and just a picture of like your boss's face. It's like an avatar where he's like whether or not he's happy because like there's been a lot of nuts and bolts sorted, or he's angry because everybody's working slow today.
Oh god.
I don't know. That's our future, guys.
Yeah, what have?
What do you mean? This is exactly where the banana conversation needed to go. Okay,
it could have went on a whole different route. So,
where do you want to take the?
No,
banana
I didn't want to take it anywhere. I'm
conversation?
just saying it could have went in a very inappropriate route, and I'm glad it went to gamifying your work. So you overwork yourself to get an extra $10.
Right. Could be something else. Could be like $1,000 added to your Christmas bonus.
Maybe it's the new Donkey Kong game. You know?
Could be. I just want another one. When did Tropical Freeze came out? A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Woof, man. They take their darn time. But now they were just like, Nintendo's like, nah, you're making Metroid now. Like,
Yeah, but what were they doing?
they were making Donkey Kong 6. Guaranteed they were making Donkey Kong 6. I would put money on it. I would bet a banana that they were making Donkey Kong 6. But
Can
they
you
still
send
probably
bananas in
can.
the mail?
You can send bananas in the mail. You can send anything in the mail. You don't even have to put it in a package. I could just write your address on it and ship it with the proper postage. That's a fact. It's a fact about the USPS.
I'll send you a new controller. It'll be a banana.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the new controller. All right. Final thoughts on either video on demand being scuttled or Sony playing with fruit.
I want to see. I want to see what this actually comes to
me too.
anything.
When do you think we'll see it at E3?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of patents out there that we never actually see.
Yeah,
we never see that.
There's like patent stuff to
product.
patent stuff.
This is just a patent to make sure, like you said earlier, that Nintendo doesn't do it. Somebody just woke up and had this idea, and they were like, "Guys, we got to get this on the books." Just a race to make Shigeru Miyamoto mad.
Just imagine, Sony E3 presentation. Cerny comes out holding a banana.
Mm-hmm.
Screen goes black. Knack 3 pops up.
Knack 3. I came here to kick ass, take names, and eat bananas.
And I'm all out of bananas.
All right, moving on. Moving on. Nailed it. Now we're gonna just kind of open up the floor to the three of us and just give everybody a little catch up on what we've been doing, what we've been creating, what platforms we're on, how close we are to 100,000 TikTok followers, and all that fun stuff.
We measuring sticks.
Yeah, no. we don't we do that before the podcast, anyways? I thought we were talking about that. First off, I want to ask what games you've been playing online and offline. John.
So I've been playing a lot of. I got back into like variety Nintendo streaming. I got Splatoon 3 got announced, a couple weeks ago. I got back on the Splatoon train, so I've been playing Splatoon. The Pyra and Mythra just came out. I played some Smash Bros.
Heck yeah!
And I just got a shiny Rookie D in Pokemon.
Saw that.
So I'm pretty hype. And then offline, I've been playing Super Mario 3D World. Yeah, I've been going through that. That game's really fun. I love that game.
It's a very good game. Wii U or Switch?
Switch.
What about you, Cooltrainer?
So like over the past month, I've been playing Ni no Kuni, and I just beat it like last week. So
nice.
Excited to get that under my belt. It's off the backlog.
Did you beat the second? Have you played the second one?
So when the second game came out, I played like half of it and stopped. So I'm about to like restart that now. So soon. I took a break to like play a different game. I was playing. I was doing a run of the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. So that was fun. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. I just posted a video last weekend about the Kanto tour. That was a lot of fun. I got a lot of shinies. And I'm currently working through the shiny Mew research. And oh boy, it's going to take a while.
So are you mad? Because I'm assuming you paid for it, right? You paid for the ticket.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an issue like the spawn, like the special treatment you were supposed to get for paying for it was just given to everybody?
I mean, some people got it. If like the thing is that like some people got the ticket, the full paid experience without paying anything, and I think people are blowing. I mean, it's bad that like that happened, but like it was a small like subset of people. It wasn't a lot of people that happened to, and a lot of people are complaining because they just like released this like bonus event. And everyone thought it was going to be like, oh, it's going to be like a little small subsection of what was the Kanto tour, maybe like a 3-hour event. But it was just a special research they gave you that gave you like a bunch of items that's like not actually representative of like what the actual Kanto tour was. So like people were making like a big fuss about that. But I guess
wait, Pokemon
fans were mad about something.
I don't know.
Is that what I'm gathering from this?
Yeah, basically. I think it was just the wording they used. They said event. If they had just said like, "Oh, we're gonna give you some like premium items," that would have been fine. Because like what they give you is like okay. They give you
it wasn't cheap either. It was $12.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I got my money's worth.
$12 in a mobile game is nothing.
I know, but it's still like you could get a decent game for $12.
Yeah, but
you'll spend more at the movie theaters.
If you
when you go to the movies.
Yeah, when we go to the movies to go see Sonic.
For 12 hours of gameplay, and I don't know, I got like 27 shinies, and I don't know, I stacked up on a bunch of Stardust. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was worth $12 to me.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you, Cam. I think that $12 is a fair price for like a ticket to an event in a mobile game, and especially because like people just kind of pump money into their mobile games. Like that's just how mobile games work, and you can't compare $12 in mobile game money to $12 trying to find something cool on the eShop. Like that's just a totally different like pricing structure. It's just not the same. You
I
can't.
also I can't.
I think it's apples and oranges. I don't think you can compare them.
I can't compare because I just spent $5 on Pokemon Go to get a little bit extra storage and a little bit more Pokemon available to me.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, but like that's really all I've done. So spending, I don't know, maybe $30 on Pokemon Go over how many years? Like,
yeah.
The game's 5 years old almost.
The game's 5 years old. I've spent $30 on it. If that was a 5-year-old games of service game, they would have had DLC packs come out every season, like $20 a year, like 60 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. Like that's a lot more than 30. So you get out what you put into it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I usually try and transfer as much stuff as I can before I buy more storage, because then like once I get to the point where like I don't really want to transfer anything more, and then I'll buy the storage. But you can also just like get the free coins. I think like if you do free coins for like 4 days, that's like you've bumped your storage like 50 spaces.
Nice. 50 more shinies that you can get. Is anything interesting?
What are you playing?
What am I playing? Oh yeah, we don't have to move on quite yet. I have just finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's what I'm streaming. So I'll tell you guys what I've been streaming. I am doing a Final Fantasy franchise run, which I've mentioned before, where I'm going through all the mainline games and then the one remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I just finished. Took me about 42 hours, I think, and 2.5 of those hours was fighting Sephiroth. Spoilers. And it was just, you can bleep me, John, and just say final boss. But, like, fighting that final boss, and then he glitched out when I was going to kill him, and that was, like, an hour in. And then I spent the last, like, 90 minutes of my stream trying to, like, get back to that point again. And I was just, like, kind of, you get to that point when you're gaming and you've done something so many times that, like, you're just, like, on tilt. You're like annoyed, you're angry, like your inputs aren't going in the way you want it to. And I just like, I was in a flow state. I killed the guy basically. And then the game was like, no, you didn't. And then that frustrated me and got me totally out of my flow state. And it took me another another 90 minutes to like get back into the groove and finish him off. It was such an amazing game. I'm not going to let that ruin my experience. I got to say that. Like, once those credits started rolling, I was like, wow.
Tears streaming down your face?
Nah, I didn't really. I feel like later, like, because I know some of the story beats, I feel like later that it's really going to tug on my heartstrings a little bit. There were moments in the game where I was like, but, like, nothing that was really... I've played games that have, like, made me feel harder feelings. But it also, like, I didn't grow up with these characters. So, like, having them have, like, longer story arcs and, like, learning more about them is just kind of like, okay. Like, everybody knows Cloud and Aerith and Tifa. But, like, everybody knows these people. Like, okay, like, they're not... These aren't my friends. I'm just, like... I'm playing a game that has everyone else's friends in them. So, like, when other people play it and they've played the OG game or they've played Crisis Core or they've played Dirge of Cerberus and, like, they, like, know what the hell's going on. Like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just playing what was presented to me. And I guess what I'm going to stop talking about it, but, like, to sum it up, play Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1 first.
Yeah.
Before you play the remake. And that's my biggest takeaway is I loved it. I thought the combat system was awesome. I thought the cinematics were cool. I thought the characters were great. I thought the acting was amazing. I loved all the characters. I was like, I'm not a big like I call it anime, but like, like that style of like game I'm not like super into. So like some of that stuff kind of turned me off. So, I don't know. Long story short, I loved it. 9 out of 10 because I didn't love all of it. I thought some parts were bloaty, and then I think you should play... I think there should be a disclaimer at the beginning that says if you haven't played Final Fantasy VII from the PS1, either on Switch or on PS1 or wherever, don't play this game yet. But you can get enough out of it. So anyways, that's my Final Fantasy VII rant, because I'm not going to make a review about it. I'm going to rant about it on the podcast for 3 minutes. Then secondly, a game, I basically was like, what are games that will make me feel good about myself? And like all of them are it comes back as just Stardew Valley every time. So I've gotten really into Stardew Valley. I'm trying not to min-max, which is like basically like, okay, it's summer. Like, what crops do I buy? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Like, what is like the ideal mate? Like, I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just basically trying to
just chilling.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fumble my way through it. I'm trying to make a farm. I really like fishing. Like, I like fishing in Animal Crossing. It's a lot of cool. It's like I played Harvest Moon on the GameCube. It's like Harvest Moon meets Animal Crossing with like a little bit of like an adventure game. So maybe Minecraft, I guess, would be the next one, but it's not very. There's not a lot of like world crafting. You build your farm, but you can build a chest. You can hunt slimes and collect copper, and I just find it extremely soothing, and it's very satisfying. And I can just get like each day is about 12.5 minutes long. You can just get lost, and it's just, I highly, highly recommend it. Anybody who's feeling down, Stardew Valley, $14.99 anywhere. Get it on Switch. Maybe I'll play with you. But that's what I've been playing offline. I don't want to bring it online because I feel like I'll attract people who will be like, "You're not doing your farm right," and I'm gonna be like, I am." The guy, I forget his name, but he's Concerned Ape. I forget his real name. The one man who made Stardew Valley has basically said a zillion times in interviews, there's no wrong way to play Stardew Valley. If you want to have 1,000,000 chickens, have 1,000,000 chickens. If you want to fish all day, fish all day. That is what Stardew Valley is. It is what you make it. But then there's just the hardcore players that are like, you didn't plant a pumpkin, 9 pumpkins like next to each other on the first day of fall. What are you, a noob?
And then that's when you tell them who asked you.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, nobody asked you, and if you said that to the guy who made the game, he would call you like you would call. He's actually like probably one of the most like calm, kind people ever. I've like read some interviews about him, but I don't think he'd ever be mean to someone. But he would just be like, well, that's not the game that I made, but thank you for your opinion. But I love it, guys. I really, really do. I highly recommend it.
I do own it. It seems like a good game to just like relax and chill out to.
I think it's better than Animal Crossing by like a lot.
Well, now you're gonna get flamed in the comments.
Well, bring it. I think it's better than Animal Crossing. But I will say I think it's harder than Animal Crossing. So if you're a casual gamer, Animal Crossing is great. But if you want more systems, like there's so many more systems. There's like farm animals, there's actual crops, there's fishing, there's mining, there's crafting, there's relationships, there's marriage. There's like there's so many systems. And if you're just like, I want to bring my chair that I made to a frog person, then Animal Crossing is for you.
Oh, man.
No hate.
Do you
I
like
put a
Nintendo?
lot of.
I don't even know if you like Nintendo anymore.
What are you talking about? I love Nintendo. I've been playing Switch. What else have I been playing? It's got to be something else. Let me turn this on real quick. Oh, it's gone.
So this might be a sensitive subject, but
sup?
Have there been any issues with trains lately?
I thought you were talking about Stardew Valley still, because like in Stardew Valley there is a train, and I was like, boy, are you spoiling this game for me? Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next thing.
Well, so we're getting a little close to our time allotted.
Hey man, you think my eyeball's not looking at that number?
I'm just saying, I don't want to be the
We're
one
good. We're good.
that goes off the rails.
So speaking of going off the rails, I had ordered, I think I mentioned it in the last podcast, maybe not. I finally got my hands on the Xbox Series X. since I have a good PC and a Switch and the PS5, I was like, you know what? I'm not buying the Series X unless I can get that all access thing that comes with Game Pass, and I don't really have to think about it, and they'll send it to my house, and they'll take $35 out of my checking account every month. Like, whatever. Like, that's what I'll do, the Netflix style Xbox, if that ever becomes available. So then the Twitter account that I follow that gives me all the good news posted that it was live. I ordered it. It said it was going to be here today. The taping, we always tape. Well, we tape on Fridays for the most part. And it said it was going to be here before 9 on Friday. And I checked for an update yesterday, and it said delay. And I'm like, okay. And it said check back tomorrow. So I checked back today, which was tomorrow as of yesterday. And
that's not confusing.
And it said, I posted it to Instagram. Let me pull it up really fast. Hang on. I got Insta on my phone right here. Right here. The most current information on your package is a train derailment has delayed delivery. We're adjusting plans to deliver your package as quickly as possible. And then that was like with a chatbot. I was talking to a chatbot trying to get like an update.
We need F's in the comments down below for the Xbox.
I know, right? Oh my god. It's like it's the saga of getting a current gen console is just a nightmare. Like, I'm still probably going to get this faster than Cam got his PS5. But,
I don't want to jinx it, but like I'm worried now. If the Switch Pro is a thing, like I'm due for some weird stuff to happen.
Yeah,
I'm due to get it like with no issues.
That's true. Yeah, I got the Switch, no issues. I got the PS5, no issues. So 2 out of 3. That's not bad. So I responded to the chatbot and said, I hope everyone is okay. And there goes my Xbox Series X. That's what's going on in my real life.
That is...
other than after the taping, I'm going to eat pizza and watch the finale of WandaVision. What about you guys? What are you doing in real life?
It's a busy season for me, actually.
Right.
But I still find time to buy Pokemon cards. I got a whole booster box of ones that have a Charizard in it, and I also got the jumbo binder.
Did you hear there's a Pokemon Go trading card?
I did hear that. I gotta try to get that.
It's Professor's gonna be a card, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is. I don't know. It's worse than the amiibo hunting was. Like I think it's just the scalpers are just.
They're on it.
Yeah, they're always at the resale. I went out tonight. I found one single pack. I drove around for like 2 hours. Went to Barnes & Noble, found one single pack.
Do you want me to check my card shop for you?
I mean, yeah, if they have it at retail. I don't want to pay over retail.
Okay, cool. And then I'll just real quick jump in on the Pokemon card thing. I tweeted, I will never buy Pokemon cards for content or whatever. Like, I'll never do it. And then I ... let's see how well this ages. So I want to say it on the podcast too. I'm never going to buy Pokemon cards for content or for card openings or whatever. I'm not going to do it ever.
I don't think I'll buy them ever, period.
Dude, I just have Magic cards that literally, if I stacked them up, they would go up to my knee. So I did that once, and I'm good. Cam, what do you do in real life?
Nothing much, really. Just a lot of streaming.
Yeah. Keeping that grind going.
Yeah. It's been much fun. Last weekend, I did a sleep block of Pokemon Fire Red, and I actually beat it on Pokemon Day, so that was really cool.
Nice. Who was your team?
Oh, God. Can I remember? It was...
Did you have a Farfetch'd?
I ended up having a Charizard because that was my Articuno encounter. It was like a level 50 Charizard. I had a Misdreavus, but that was kind of like the worst Pokemon on my team. I had a Hitmonlee. It was actually a lot of cancer Pokemon on my team.
Well, that's cool. It's Fire Red. That makes sense. All right, cool. Well, let's wrap the show up then by just saying, where can people find you? Camilo, you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Cooltrainer Camilo, on Twitch. I have an Instagram. I've actually been trying to post more like Go Snapshot photos on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, CoolTR Camilo. Yeah.
Nice. John, where can people find you?
I'm everywhere. I'm on Twitter, Instagram.
I'm in your house.
I'm behind you. But Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, I'm really close to 100K.
So close.
So yeah, Johniibo everywhere. It's the same name everywhere. It's
Lucky.
Easy.
Okay, well, everybody knows that my name is Phil Phantastic. You can find me on YouTube mostly these days. I'm going hard on YouTube. It was my home. It's where I started, and I've decided to go back there. So videos and streams on YouTube. You can watch me stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting around 3 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays, and then a little bit later on Thursdays because I work. So that's where you can find me.
Card pack openings coming soon.
Yeah, card pack openings coming never. Also, you should just follow me on Twitch because eventually YouTube is going to break again, and I'm going to go back there. But yeah, right now
maybe
not
Mixer
so much.
comes back.
Yeah, right. So as far as socials go, I'm actually very, very active on social media. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you'll get the occasional political post, but it's mostly just video game stuff. But that's at Phil Phantastic with an X at the end. That's all my socials. Instagram, I post every single day about what games I'm playing or an update on my Series X being in a train accident. That's also at Phil Phantastic X. And then I've got back into TikTok because John has inspired me to get on TikTok. And I think I've made a couple of funny ones and a couple of just, gaming-related ones. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. And that's at
stuff.
Phil Phantastic X. Got an X at the end. TikTok's where it's at. All right. Final thoughts, guys? Any parting words?
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Also, I thought you were going to say save your game.
Save your game.
That's also very important too.
Yeah,
Don't
guys,
forget-
always save your game, and then after the save is done, save it again just to make sure.
Yeah.
You always got to save it twice.
I got that shiny Rickety the other day. Almost forgot to save.
Oh, my gosh. You turned autosave off?
Well, I don't think I wasn't in a spot that was autosaving. I was out in the
Fair
grass
enough.
or whatever.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget you can watch or listen to the entire podcast on your platform of choice, including subscribing for the video version on YouTube that you're probably watching. Follow our Twitter and Instagram. Both are at the GamePackYT. Thanks again, and take care. We will see you next week.